All right, Ultimate Hoops Nation. I'm Aaron Wimsett, Son Young Graves. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Week 8 edition. Bloomington South's done. Fridley's got 1 week left. There's 4 games next week. Playoffs are shaping up to be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, with the new seating change.
Maybe.
Possibly next week, but we found out that we're going to be missing a member next week. But not to hold him guilty at all or for any reason, but it'll be interesting what we have. 6 and 2 teams possibly to finish up. And we'll probably have 3 in Fridley.
6 to 8.
6 to 8, 6 and 2.
6 and 2 teams. I think 9 or 10. That could all be with 6 wins.
And that leaves the good fellas who finished with 2 and 6, and the Celtics who could possibly finish 2 and 6 since they didn't get a win tonight.
We'll talk about that more later. Let's get on to the good. Zali for the Shockers has been on a tear. Shockers last night knocked the Goodfellas pretty much out of the playoffs. Unless your Celtics lose. Again, we'll talk about that later. They put the Goodfellas at 2 and 6. He's went 37 of 60 in his last 2 games. He scored 101 points. So I think he had 70-something 2 weeks ago and 37 or no something last night. But anyways, is he an MVP candidate?
Wouldn't say he's MVP candidate, but he's hot right now. He's basically turned into Jamal Crawford of UH, where if he gets on the roll, it's going. If not, I mean, it helps. It helps the Shockers. That's perfect timing for them to make a quick run in the playoffs, and he's a distraction on defense. So you're going to have to adjust and make sure you guard him at all times.
The Magic Johnsons, who I think we spoke about for the first time last week, they beat the Heights tonight. It was pretty close until the end, and the Heights, just same thing as Avengers, turnovers. I think they got frustrated, but the Magic Johnsons are now 6 and 1. They play Brick City next week.
So they're 6 and 2.
Yeah, they're gonna lose. They could be 7 and 1 if they can somehow pull off the win against Brick City. Are they a top 3 team? Do they deserve it?
Roster-wise, schedule-wise, no. Did they earn it with their wins? Yes. I don't see the Atlanta Hawks being the 8 seed because they ran through the East. So it's not their fault. They didn't make their schedule. They won their games. They're top record-wise.
The 5-5 beat the Avengers. I think coming into the game, both teams were 4 and 2, I think. But anyways, the 5-5, I think they beat them by 18. They moved to 5 and 2. They had 4 players in double digits, which you usually don't see out of them, and they forced 14 turnovers. What are your thoughts on that game?
They played as a team. It was definitely team basketball. Izzy, I think those are the most assists I've tallied for him in a very, very long time. Briggs came out hot, started 6 for 6, including a 3. Like, you can't prepare for that. Yeah, and then John Christensen came out, hit 4 3s straight. It's rough, especially when the Avengers weren't clicking. So.
And then to set up the showdown next week, both the Free Ballers and Blazers, I think, are on like a 3 or 4 game win streak. Both teams have looked really good. Free Ballers crushed your Celtics tonight, and I think the Blazers played the spark plug, so you'd expect them to win. But they're both 6 and 1, and they play next week.
So the key to that is it makes it a committee meeting topic because They're both on a 3 or 4 game win streak, and that's because of one team, which is 5-5, which will be looking to go 6-2 next week. Does the loser, or do you bump 5-5 above the loser of that game? I mean, you would think you would have to.
5-5, I think 5-5 beat both teams.
Yeah. 5 beat both teams, but I believe 5 also may have the worst loss when they lost to the Celtics. So it's going to be a tough discussion.
On to the bad. So we'll kind of get into the playoff talk here. 20 teams. I think in the past 6-8 seasons, we haven't had a problem finding 20 teams. It's usually, we've had 21 teams, 22 teams a few times for playoffs because there were 20-plus teams that got 2 votes from a Players Committee member. This season's a little different. We have 19 with 3 wins. The Kudas, who didn't look like they were going to get in, are now in.
19.
And the Goodfellas finished 2-6, a team that, if you would have asked me before the season, I would have said no way they don't get 3 wins. And the Celtics, another team that, if you would have asked me, I would have said there's no way they don't get 3 wins.
Which actually, Aaron, you keep talking because I want to show them that it's this team right here. Oh, it's not on there. Okay, I thought it was screwed in. This team right there. Where's the zoom? That team is on the bubble for making the playoffs. They're on the wall, championship banner. They're on the bubble for the playoffs at 2-5. Just a reminder. It's time. It's time. It's Vader time. No. Oh, you didn't know? Yo, better call somebody.